and welcome to Your Time to Shine, a radio show designed to help you explore your own divine gifts. Good evening. Thank you so much for being here with me. I hope you are all having a wonderful, wonderful week, and it's almost the weekend. Time for celebrations here in the U.S. with our Independence Day coming up on us. And also, I just spoke with a friend just before our show here today in Canada, and they are going to be celebrating Canada Day. So, happy holidays to all of those who are celebrating independence and Canada Day, and hope you are all doing something fun and enjoying that with some family and friends. So today I was pulling a card for all of you out there, and I pulled the card that is, it's only a thought, and a thought can be changed. And I thought that was so interesting because, we are all about our thoughts. I don't know about you, but I'm a Gemini. I'm always in my head, thinking and overthinking and rethinking. And so I have to be very mindful about my thoughts. And of course, my husband, kind of on the other end of the spectrum, he's all about fun and play, and he's always throwing things out there. And I'm like, watch what you say. The universe is listening. We are a mirror of what we send out there, right, is what we're going to get back. So it's always really important to make sure that you are being very thoughtful in your thoughts, in your thought processes, and thinking about what you are sending out there. And, when I grew up, I was kind of a worrywart, right? And there is a fantastic quote. Don't ask me where it's from. I can't remember where it is from, but the quote is fantastic. And I actually have it sitting by my desk. And it says, "Today is the tomorrow that you worried about yesterday." So just stop and think about that for a few minutes, because I had to stop and do a double take when I first heard it. But it's today is the day that you worried about yesterday, and it is the tomorrow. So everything that you were concerned about, that you were thinking about, now is the day. Today is the day. So thinking about your thoughts is very important. Being mindful of your thoughts, of what is being out there, and knowing that you can change a thought, right? That's all it is it's a thought. It hasn't been put out there yet. It hasn't gone into, the manifestation. So if it's something that's not resonating with you, then you can change it. It's just as simple as that. You can change that thought. You can change what the energy behind that thought, right? You may really like the thought, but the energy behind it isn't good. It doesn't feel right for you, right? So you can change that vibration. You can change that energy by going into it and shifting it, right? So, and there are a lot of ways that you can go in and shift and change that energy by shifting and changing what you are doing. Change your environment, right? Listen to some music, go out for a walk, do something that shifts or changes that thought process so that you can get on the right track with where you need to be and where you want to be. Now, life is not all about, good and rosy and everything is fine. We're going to have those days that just get to us, that bring us down, that we are processing things, or maybe we are releasing and we just are not at our optimum. And that's okay. You have to be able to be okay with those days. And sometimes it's really hard to be okay with those days. It's really hard to have those good thought processes and those good thoughts. And that's okay. Let it be what it is. Let it go through the process and then come back around with it. and, be in the thoughts that you want to be. So whatever you're throwing out there to the universe, just know that they're going to throw that back at you tenfold, right? So being mindful of your thoughts is very, very important. And like I said, I tell that to my husband all the time. Be careful. The universe is listening, which they are all the time. So be gentle with yourselves. If you're going through a rough time, it's okay. We're all going to go through those rough times. But just know that you can change that thought process and you can turn that around and make it into the space and the vibration that you need it to be by simply just changing a few things within you or with your environment. So, as you were sitting there this weekend, enjoying all the festivities, enjoying family and friends, be mindful about your thoughts and what thought processes are going through. Have fun, relax, enjoy, and let everything come through for you, right? It's all about shifting that energy, having a little bit of fun too, right? As you're doing it. So I hope you all have a fantastic weekend this weekend, and coming into July 4th, and are enjoying all that, and watch your thoughts. All right. I don't even have my chat up yet. Hello. Thank you, Angela, for calling in this evening, and welcome to Your Time to Shine.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I am good, thank you. What can I do for you this evening?
So I was just kind of looking for some guidance, kind of curious to see on what you're just picking up on in general. I'm kind of at a weird place in life when it comes to like career, my dream pursuits and things like that. And, I'm in the middle of like, I know that I'm in a process of like a shift, and it's just like things have just started getting a little crazy. So I was just kind of wondering on what you can chime in for me on that.
Okay. So I'm trying to, because this could go in so many different directions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So are you looking for maybe some clarity around the job? Is that kind of what you're looking for?
Yeah, it's like, so there's this career that I want to pursue. I'm actually in the metaphysical industry. But currently I have like a regular day job, and it's kind of like, it's just like it seems like the energy is trying to push me out of this day job, because I feel like the energy's pushing me out. But with the field work, it's just like, I just don't see how there's like a clear path, because it seems like the door for the regular day job wants to close, and this door wants to open with the holistics, that I've been studying and working towards pursuing for like over 10 years. I've been doing a lot of self-education and things like that. And it seems like the energy just wants to shut the door on like the regular, normal, average person job. And I'm just like, but I'm not even like, I don't even have a spot to do the other work in. So I'm just kind of like, right. I need a little something. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get it. So what I'm hearing from you right now is, or what your guides are telling me, is that you okay, hold on here. You need to start moving, right? You need to start moving in that direction. So what they're saying is, yes, you've taken all these courses, you've prepped yourself, you're doing all of that. It's about taking that step, right? It's about being in that space and that energy of that healing work, because yes, the day job might be unfulfilling for you right now, right? But it's about you actually taking that first step and, doing something as far as, do you take clients on a weekend? Do you do them after work? what does that look like? Do you do that before you go to work? I don't know what that looks like for you, but what they're saying is you need to step forward. You need to move into that piece of it, because the reason you're
Yeah.
feeling very unfulfilled in your daytime job is
Yeah.
because you're supposed to be doing this other work, right? And it's
Yeah.
okay to have the day job, but then start moving in the direction of the other one. But it's like, take the step. I just keep hearing, take the step, right?
Hmm. Yeah, I guess I've just been struggling to find a location. So over the winter, I had an opportunity and I was doing it over the winter. But you know how people in the field tend to butt heads based
Yeah.
on, our own growth? Like, because if one of us keeps growing and the rest of them in the group aren't really kind of growing, it's just kind of
Yes.
like the butt heads. It seems
Yes.
like every time I start getting myself into a location, there's like head butting. And it's just like I do my shadow work. I try to keep myself in check at all times. And it's just like, I guess I just haven't really found a good space to do it in that I feel like I can do it without judgments from others in the field.
Right. So you're absolutely right. So as you grow and you shift, right, things are going to shift
Mm-hmm.
around you as well. And you are 100% correct. Um, there are some people that you are going to butt heads with because they're not on the same vibration as you are, and that's okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
so I'm being asked, why do you feel you need a location? Is this something that you could be doing at your home, like carving out a little space within your home to do this
So
work?
that's really been the conflict because I live in the house I grew up in, and they are afraid of the industry. They pretty much say the industry is dangerous versus, it's just like a lot of miscommunication and a lot of fear. I'm from a large family, and there's a lot of trauma based on mediumship gifts and things like that when we were kids growing up.
Right.
So a lot of them shut down. So they want no part of it in this house. So that's
Okay.
kind of where I'm at you know, standstill with doing it at home.
Right. So I'm being shown like traveling. Like I see you in your car and you're pulling stuff out and you're actually going to your clients, right? Um,
Okay.
like you're making visits.
So do like house
It,
calls.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Um,
Okay.
is it Reiki that you're doing or massage?
So I do intuitive energy healing, and I also coach and mentor people on the intuitive energy healing. I am a Reiki master teacher as well, but
Okay.
I'm really big into teaching energetic safety and just letting people know. It's like almost like I coach people on learning how to be the healer that they are, because intuitive energy healing anybody can do as long as they know
Sure.
protocols and safety. So it's
Sure.
like I'll do
Absolutely.
it, but I like to let people know like you have the power to do this yourself.
Right, right. So what I'm also getting is, the teaching, like I feel a really strong piece for you for teaching. Um,
Hmm.
and so that could be done in several settings, right? That could be done, maybe it's a friend's house that you can go to. Maybe there is a local spiritual place where you could hold a class, or you can do it
Hmm.
online, right? So
Hmm.
it's about looking at things and trying to go outside the box to be able to do what it is that you are wanting to do, what your heart is calling to do. So it's taking a
Okay.
bigger, like it's taking a bigger look, like actually stepping back and saying, okay, how can I make this work with what I
Hmm.
have at the moment?
Okay. That makes sense.
But I'm really feeling like this huge teaching piece for you.
Yeah. I love teaching and mentoring. I have a couple girls that I do mentor, and I don't charge them because I'm really big on making sure that I feel confident in the people that I take on first before I end up charging people, because it's like, we all have to build our confidence in the line of work that we do before we can actually feel like, we're kind of at a point where, yes, I'm going to be effective, and yes, this is going to benefit people for the highest good, so.
So what I'm being shown is you need to start charging.
Okay.
You,
Start
you
charging.
know, you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So sit down with spirit and ask them how much you should charge for a session, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you are worthy of charging for your services. You do know what you are doing. You do know, and you bring valuable pieces. I mean, so let me ask you a question. When you get done mentoring or teaching, do people walk away with great information? And do they say, wow, that was amazing. Like, that was fantastic.
Yeah, a lot of the time they hear a lot of things that aren't being taught, especially like where I'm at. Like,
Yeah.
they learn about a lot about themselves, because it's like I can tell them everything I do, but everybody's unique. You could have a group of 7 healers, and each healer could pick up on something different. We could go into a space, and one healer could pick up on something that the rest of them don't pick up on. Doesn't
Yeah.
make anybody else wrong. It's just we all have different senses for a reason.
Right.
So and I feel like people, like the girls that I'm mentoring, they reach out to me freely, because like one thing with energy healing and Reiki that I tell people, I'm like, I could literally sit down and do 8 hours and teach you Reiki 1, but is that going to be effective for you? And the answer is no, because every situation is different. So
Sure.
you have to handle each situation as it arises. Sometimes you can't go straight top to bottom with the energy healing. Sometimes you got to hit the elbow or the left pinky, because you never know where the energy's sitting. So it is, like life skills. So I feel like it really helps them not only with their energetic bodies, but with life and being able to navigate in the regular human stuff too.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And you've been doing this long enough now. It's time for you to start getting paid for what you do, for the knowledge that you bring, for the channeling that you bring through for each and every student, right?
Yeah.
So sit down with spirit and have a conversation with them and figure out what that looks like, in your business.
And then it's like, I've been reaching out in my community trying to figure out, well, like legal matters with it. And I'm like, well, would I need insurance to teach somebody? Do I need to go and get certified as like a coach in order to do it, even though I have my Reiki masters, teachers, or whatever? Like, do I need more documents in order to do I need insurance in order to teach? It's like kind of like things that people really aren't offering as far as information wise. It's like they're kind of trying to hold that hostage from me in a way, it feels like.
Right. So what I'm being shown is that yes. So sorry, they're throwing things at me. Yes, it's good for you to know all of this. As far as the coaching piece of it, you can be an advisor. You could be a mentor, right? You don't have to put the label of coach necessarily on what you do, right? You teach classes, you teach understanding of how to work with energy and move with the energy. And of course, that's going to change. Your class or your demonstrations might change depending on what student you have and what level they are at. But those are types of things that you already have the knowledge and the background of what you need to know and what you need to do. So it's like they're saying kind of, push that aside. I mean, you can still charge for your services, you know,
Yeah.
with all with those things.
Okay. So it's like I just need to just go and do it, not have to. I don't have to worry about legal matters as long as I know that what I'm doing is correct. In a sense, like obviously have your waivers, but it's like just still go
Yeah,
for it, even though there's still some uncertainties.
right. So, as far as those legal matters, I will be really honest. I've taken many classes and energy work, and I've never been asked to sign a waiver. I've never, that hasn't even come up in the realm of things, right? So
Hmm.
when it comes to the energy working and things like that, I think it's a very different industry, and it doesn't always match up with other things, in the legality portion of it. So
Yeah, like I understand like hands-on energy healing, but I'm not a fan of hands-on energy work. I do like,
right,
you can touch somebody's energy field without actually physically touching their bodies.
absolutely,
So,
absolutely,
mhm,
absolutely. And it's the same, but it's the same kind of principle, right? So
mhm,
you know what I'm being shown is that you don't really need to have those types of things, you know, in place to be able to do the things that you do. Um, if it makes you feel better, then follow that, or follow what spirit tells you. But what I'm being shown
right.
is that that's not really anything that should be holding you
Is
back.
it, so it's not necessary. Like it could be, down the road if I really feel like I'm going to need it, but unless I'm
Right,
really drawn to it in the moment, then don't push for it. Because
right,
I feel like that's really been holding me back is like the whole like uncertainty of the legal matters when it comes to the industry.
right, right.
So,
um it most definitely is holding you back,
hmm,
right? So, I mean,
yeah,
you've been getting your clients by word of mouth, right? So in some vein, these people know who you are, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like universe just puts them in my space. I would never reached out to the people that I mentored. They just one day they showed up where I'm at, and then we just instantly knew. It was like an instant mutual connection. Like, yeah,
sure.
you know.
Absolutely.
So,
Spirit always brings to us who we resonate with, and who is needing
mhm,
help, who is needing our services, right?
yeah,
So, I mean, even you and I talking today has been already orchestrated by the divine, right? It's
yeah,
by no coincidence that you and I are talking this evening. So,
uh-huh,
it's that same thing, right? Spirit's going to bring
yeah,
that person to you that needs to hear what you have to say, or be shown or taught the healing that you have to offer. Okay?
yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense. So I definitely feel like you answered a lot on what reassurance, house calls is definitely a way that I can go about getting myself in the door. Um,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
mhm,
And I think, as far as the legality points of that, it's a little bit harder in our industry to find somebody who is going to understand those types of legalities. And um, again, there's not that many healers out there that have those types of things, um,
mhm,
good, bad, or indifferent, right? It just is what it is. Um,
yeah,
but I'm being shown that this should not, you can pursue this if you want to, just so that you have an understanding of it and you feel better about it, but it shouldn't
mhm,
hinder you going out and, you know, doing the work that you do.
Yeah. Okay. So it won't cause me any harm if I don't focus on like the legal matters, as long as I stick with my morals and just know right from wrong, and don't like,
Absolutely.
I'm just really big on energetic safety, and I'm just like huge in safety, and just like, obviously the whole like you don't do medical stuff and everything else. It's just
Absolutely.
like common
Right.
sense if you've taught it,
Yep.
but it's not common sense for people who aren't.
Exactly. But you know all this stuff. You have a very keen awareness to this, and
Mhm.
that's going to be what keeps you, true to the values of your, in your core being, right? That's who you
Mhm.
are, right? You ask permission to work on somebody. You ask permission if it's okay if you check in with their angels and guides, right? You're doing
Yeah.
all of those things, and you're asking for their permission. You're getting them to say, is this something that you want to engage in, right? Because you can always,
Mhm.
if it's not, timing isn't right, if it doesn't feel right, it's okay to say no, right? So
Yeah.
you give your clients all of those options so that they can weigh those
Mhm.
out for themselves before you start the session. And so you've already set yourself up for that
Mhm.
success.
Yeah.
And two, if they are coming to you, it's already an unspoken word that they're giving you permission, right?
Mhm.
Because they have sought you out.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, Angela, we're coming down to the last few seconds of our show this evening. So, I'm going to have to say good night, but it has been wonderful speaking with you this evening, and I hope this has been helpful for you.
It definitely has been. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. Best of luck.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you. All right, that does it for me, everyone. Enjoy your holiday weekend coming up. If you are in Canada or the US, have a wonderful, wonderful week. If you would like to have a reading with me, please check me out on my website at wingsofsoulswithjulie.com, or my Facebook pages, Julie YeagerWalker Medium or Your Time to Shine. Have a great night, everyone.